overcoming fear. Anything can happen. I'm stepping into the unknown. So what is it that we're afraid about? So for me, in my own experience, it's this idea of I don't know what's going to come out. I don't know what part of me is going to be exposed. So these fears that we can have them for many reasons. And a lot of it is based on experiences that we've had in revealing ourselves when we were quite young and the response that that gave. Maybe we started talking in a lesson and we then got in trouble from the teacher, or we gave an answer to a question but it was the wrong answer and the teacher told us that we were wrong, or maybe people laughed at us. So often those earlier experiences of just beginning to express ourselves, not holding ourselves back, and then things happen and our brain begins to reconfigure. It starts to put up these bars to say, don't go there. That got you laughed at, or don't go there, that got you rejected, or don't go there, that got you in trouble. So we've had that experience of stepping into the unknown, and we've also had that experience of then what happens. And so we begin to restrict ourselves. Here the days make my skin tighten, as if to become an armour. I want the opposite. I want to say to all of the habits of my mind, give in. There may be that fear of who we are and what's going to come out of this great unknown. But essentially that urge to write doesn't have the fear. Because if it did, it wouldn't be pushing at us to express ourselves. So I want you to really connect with those two places. There's that soft, creative place, that urge to write. And then there's that fear, that rule, that fence that got closed. So here's the prompt. Imagine your urge to write. Imagine that safeguarding part of the mind that fears. And imagine the two of those working in a wonderful collaboration. What would it feel like? What would it sound like? And what would it look like? 2 minutes, off you go. Okay. So how did you get on with that one? That lovely dance, that lovely collaboration between the mind and its capacity to safeguard, and also between that creative urge. So for me, I put the mind feels that urge and doesn't ignore it or try to change it, but rather brings its ear as close as possible to hear. Because it understands that when truly expressed, this urge is unique and it will be a sound that many other people can recognize too. So for me, that was a really interesting place to get to, where I was essentially teaching or showing my mind that actually, if it didn't try to control things, the outcome would be much better. And essentially the reason that is because if we're allowing the mind to step in and control things, we're essentially allowing the mind to run on an old program of fear. So essentially we're allowing the mind to take action based on, well, look, you might get rejected. And so we're essentially reliving all of those old stories that we want to rewrite. So in that moment, I really got a sense of how the mind could understand that by listening to this very pure, creative urge and really tuning in and picking the words that the urge wants to use, describing the sights, the sounds and the feelings that the urge is giving up, that is the place of true creativity. And I really got a sense of when I'm expressing in that place, people will read the work and they'll know, they'll really be able to connect to it because they too will have that creative urge within them that is also moved by the words. So it felt like a place where safety could be, a place where an audience could be receptive and really enjoy what I was writing. So for me, that's the beauty of a collaboration where the two parties are genuinely listening to each other and they're generally recognizing the gifts that both have. The creative urge has that capacity to be unique, and it's the mind that has the language, that essentially has the words that can translate those feelings and put them onto the page. So the two are essential, but we want them working in a lovely collaboration where they have full respect for each other. Take everything that you've learned into your week ahead, allow those insights to continue to come, and I look forward to working with you in another week's time. I'll see you then.